This video is brought to you by Heatcraft Refrigeration. While doing routine maintenance, I noticed that this thing has a motor. If you listen, there's a chirping sound in there. This thing has a motor that is going bad. So we are gonna dig into this and figure out what it is and what we gotta do to get it replaced. Shut off the disconnect for now. That shut the unit off. We're gonna open up the cover and go from there. All right, so we shut the unit off. There's no power to it. And I could hear, oh look, there's a couple little friends right there. We'll get those out too. But I could hear something a little funky, right? So let's spin this one. And then let's spin this one. So that's it. There's like a beeping sound, but this one's not making a noise. This one is. So we've got bearings going bad in this one right here. So that's interesting. But again, this is just something like while I was doing the routine maintenance, I noticed that sound, you know? And yeah, so always want to, pay attention when you're doing the maintenance and stuff. That way we're 100% sure we're finding potential problems, you know? So if we come right over here onto the side of the unit, you've got a model and serial number, okay? That model and serial number is written right here. If we go to the Heatcraft app, you see right in here, right here, Heatcraft app, and then you go to parts lookup and put our serial number right there. Search, and you get all the part numbers for the model and serial number of the equipment. You can go right down here. You can see fan blades, the motor mount for the fan. You come down here. Here's our condenser fan motor. You click on it. It actually tells you who has what in stock, but that's what I need right there, the part number, so we can pick it up from the supply house. So a nice short 3/8 little attachment for your impact makes it perfect. You can get right in there, carefully pull this off. Again, see how he's holding the fan guard because we don't want it to drop and mess up the blade. And then we got one more on the bottom with the ground screw. Pull this out. We're gonna investigate the blade, make sure there's no problems with the blade. As long as the blade is safe and good, then we're gonna just pick up just a motor. I don't see anything wrong with that blade. Yeah, looks fine. We'll definitely give it a rinse, but okay, we'll go grab a motor and then we'll rinse this blade and we'll be back. Here we go. We got the OEM Heatcraft motor right here. And then pull it out. This one is a little bit of a new design on the motor. It's not a typical PSC. It's like a little bit different, but it fits in the same mounting bracketry. And yeah, everything's all in there. So we'll get this guy swapped out with the other motor. And this guy right here really isn't that dirty. I mean, but since we have it all open, we pulled out the other motor because we pulled out some little guys that were in there, threw those away. We're just gonna give it a quick little rinse all together. Might as well. So just come through. So the bright way, it's always hard to be able to do it from the inside out, but you can see like this is nice, right? Because we got no motors in there. So try to take the opportunity when I can, and I could rinse down the whole inside. And normally you wouldn't be able to go this crazy because you're not pulling the motors out, like that. And you can also kind of carefully get the compressor, just kind of get this area, and then I'll blow this area out. But yeah, you can see, we'll put a little aerosol cleaner on this guy just to be 100% sure and break down some of the grime. Got some of the Viper coil cleaner. Stuff does a good job. But again, normally you can't, like on just like a quick maintenance or something, you're not gonna go this crazy, right? But this is nice because we can get all the way in here and really let it go through and then work our way all the way around. That one. Okay, after it's sat for a few minutes, just get on it, rinsing it from the inside out like crazy, and then we'll hit it with what do you want to call it? See the water coming through. Like I said, it's really not that dirty, but. Okay, then we're gonna take the air blower because when these fan motors turn on, it's gonna suck it right into the motors and just blow it right through them, and you don't want that. So look at how much water's held in these things. You don't want to short out the brand new motors. So we'll just give it a nice little blast with the air blower. Make sure it's all nice and dry. And then we'll install the new motors and start it up. It's not always possible, but when can, try to make the label legible and visible from the top. So we were able to kind of move some things around. These wires are a little bit longer, I made them. So we also put our own connectors on them. That way it's easier to change the motors in the future and you don't gotta run the wires all the way over here. Get a little visual on this contactor in here, but this thing looks amazing inside. I don't see any issues. It's kind of getting the camera to focus, but inside there, this is definitely not OEM. This has been replaced, this contactor, or this is not original, I should say. So there's nothing wrong with that. Defrost clock had the right time on it. We've got this all back together. Now, unfortunately, because we didn't change this motor, we didn't extend the wires. We had to turn it to where the nameplate was on the bottom, but I did take a picture of it before we started it so we could test current on it. This one right here is already installed where it's supposed to be. Everything's good. This guy's basically ready to turn on. We'll put the cover back on the contactor, we'll turn it on, and then we'll test amps on the motor and make sure everything's good. I went ahead and got my amp clamp ready for startup, and just wrote on the inside right here, today's date, left condenser fan motor, the supply house that I got it from was RSD, and then our company info. And then I wrote the model and serial number, so that way, if it's hard to read the sticker for someone over there. 1, 2, 3, please don't blow up. It's going in the right direction, the condenser fan motor, so that's a plus. A bunch of water, you might still see a little bit, but there's not a bunch of water coming through, so that's good. And it just cycled off because it's off on, that's also an indication we might have this motor going bad too, because see how this one stopped faster? So even though this one was making noise, this one might be going bad too. Because look at this one's still free spinning. So we might have to put another condenser fan motor in this. We'll check amps and then see what the customer wants to do. But it's got a delay right now. It's waiting for it's got a Heatcraft QRC, the quick response controller. So it's waiting for it to turn on. There we go, now we're on. So they're both spinning in the same direction. Oh yeah. Yeah, we got 2 motors going bad in this bad boy. Oh, and we have a wet condenser. It's very interesting because the squeaking was from this one, but I hadn't pulled the cover off yet. But I could definitely hear it from that one. And then when we shut it off, we pulled the cover off and I could hear it squeak, 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 squeak. I didn't really hear it because you don't hear it as much from this one. But now that this one's not making a noise, the sound is more prevalent from this one too. But customer's fine. So this one right here is running under current. It's allowed to run 0.47. That's right where we're at, 0.46, 0.47. So luckily I picked up another motor, so we got 2 of them. So we're just grabbing the other one from the van right now. And because I was gonna keep one for truck stock, but now I'll have to get another one for truck stock. But that's all good. But yeah, we're gonna swap this one out real quick. All right, well this is all back and on and running. Both new motors. Sight glass is clear. Now we weren't here for refrigeration issues, so there's no issues with that. We were simply here because doing the routine maintenance, we heard the motor squeaking. When we shut it down, we heard the left motor squeaking, so we changed that one. But you know, I had picked up 2, so it's all good. But we're good, it's all ready. We're gonna put the cover back on and wrap this one up. Forgive the wind, we got Santa Ana winds going on here in SoCal, so it's kind of crazy, and I wouldn't be surprised if one of these doors doesn't slam shut on me because of the wind. But, you know, it's so important that we take our time, we use our senses. When we're on these jobs, when we're on a maintenance, it's not the place for headphones unless they need to be there for safety reasons, okay? Because we need to be able to hear this stuff. So we were doing a routine maintenance at this location and we heard like the chirping of bearings or something was wrong with one of the condenser fan motors. So we thought it was just one. I went out there to diagnose and it's like, yeah. And I was the one doing the maintenance, but I didn't dig any further than cleaning the condenser, rinsing it off real quick, and then just hearing the noise, right? So I knew there was a motor going bad. Went back out there, but when I went back out there, got the part number from the Heatcraft app, and I was able to find the motor. That's super awesome, right? The way that you can go through and just look up the model number, serial number, and then find the part numbers you need. Like, I really appreciate that. But we found the part number. We went to the supply house. I thought it was just one motor, but I, for some reason, picked up 2. I was like, you know what, I'll just keep one in the truck. Like, they're good motors to have. There goes one of the doors. They're good motors to have. Let's see if the other door goes flying. I'll just go ahead and put it over there. That way it doesn't do that. But went in and picked up 2, and luckily I did, because once we changed the motor, then I turned it back on, Then it was like, oh, the other one's making a noise too, so we need to go ahead and get to that. And forgive me, I'm going to turn this off because someone's trying to call me right now. So luckily I had that second motor. We were able to replace them both and get the customer back up and running. But I can't stress enough, pay attention when you're doing the maintenances, because this is the kind of stuff that the customer's paying us to do, right? They want to catch these problems before they become emergencies. So this one was a routine service call. Like, this was at normal time, not overtime. They didn't have to pay overtime rates, right? And they didn't have to bother me on a Saturday. Like, so this is what I like. I like preventative maintenance where we can find problems and address them before they become dire emergencies, right? So that's really awesome about that. And that's why it's so important to not just put headphones on and zone out when you're doing a routine maintenance, because it's not just about rinsing things off. It's about listening. It's about using your senses and using the skills, you know, that you have earned from time working in this trade, and find these problems and prevent catastrophic breakdowns. Okay, that's the most important thing. Just pay attention. Then on top of that, you got to look at the big picture. I can't tell you how much taking a step back and looking at the big picture has changed my career. Keep in mind, that started out of desperation because I was sick of callbacks and something had to change. I was sick of not knowing how to do things the right way. So I took it upon myself to become better, to become who I wanted to be, right? The technician that tries his best for the most part. There's times when I'm lazy, trust me. That laziness is always in there. But you guys, these videos, when I film these keep me on my toes, because it's like, nope, got to do it right. Got to do it right. I have to remind myself all the time. So sometimes, I'll be honest with you, I have a hard drive full of videos that were not finished. They literally, I went out and diagnosed and never went back to repair it because I sent another technician. But the videos keep me on point, keep me honest, essentially, right? Keep me being the technician that's always filming what I'm doing, because it just keeps me going. So take your time, do it right, and do right by the customer. Remember, your customer's success is your success, because equipment breaks. It's gonna break naturally. And if you're an honest technician, the hope is that you're so honest that they want to call you back. So your customer's success is your success. That's how I treat my customers. Their success is mine. So therefore, I'm looking out for their best interests. I'm being that eyes on the ground kind of technician, especially in the chain restaurants where the facilities department can't get to every restaurant all the time to find problems. I'm that person, even if it's not mine. I showed a video a couple weeks back where there was holes in the roof. It's not my problem, has nothing to do with me, but I bring it to their attention so they could fix it before it becomes an emergency service call. I want to be that person for them, right? So remember to treat your customers like they're your own family. That's the best advice that I can give to anybody out there, is do best by your customers, right? Of course, take care of yourself, take care of your family, all that good stuff. But I really appreciate you making it to the end of the video. If you haven't already, please consider going to my website, hvacrvideos.com, where we have merchandise available. Great way to help support the channel. These hats are available on my website. Those are a small family business. My wife and I handle the fulfillment. She does most of it. I just kind of help a little bit here and there. So if you place an order on our website, my wife's going to be packaging it within a day or two, getting it shipped out and delivering it. So that's a great way to help support the channel. That's hvacrvideos.com. You can also go to the show notes of this video. There's links for PayPal, Patreon, YouTube channel memberships. Those are all just different ways you can choose to donate to the channel. I can't stress enough, YouTube has all kinds of new stuff they're coming out with. The new flavor of the week is hyping the videos. So you can go in. I don't know if you have to be a YouTube channel, YouTube premium member or not, but if you hype the videos, it helps them to get more views or something like that. I don't really understand it, but I'm told to tell you guys to hype the videos. I get these emails from YouTube. And I've seen people hype them, like, oh yeah, I hyped your video or something, whatever that means. So if you can figure out how to hype a video, do me a favor and hype my video. It helps. Last but not least, TrueTechTools.com. If you go over to TrueTechTools.com, I have an affiliate program set up with them. You see any tools that I used in this video, good majority of my tools I picked up from TrueTechTools.com. Use my affiliate code BIGPICTURE, one word, at checkout. On your order, you'll get a nice discount on majority of the items, and if that discount is applied, I get a small commission from that order too. So it's an affiliate program. Great way to help support the channel. Last but not least,
Go check out heatcraftrpd.com. So much great information. Download the Heatcraft Refrigeration app. You can get the refrigeration toolkit. You can look up part numbers. You can do box load calculations. You can do so much different stuff. It's a super easy app to use. Definitely check it out. You saw me using it in the video. So many great things on there. Heatcrafts, I really do appreciate the team over at Heatcraft. They are great people. They're trying to do right by the industry. So give them some love. All right, go follow on their socials, go follow their YouTube channel. It's just a great way, and they're a great company to work with, so they really are cool. I love their products and everything. So thank you so very much for making it to the end of the video. I really do appreciate you, and let me know what you think about the video down in the comments. Shoot me an email, hvacrvideos@gmail.com, and I hope to catch you on the next one.